Hello and welcome. Today we'll be looking at sets, more particularly three sets problems. I'm Teacher Alton. In Psalm 118 verse 1 it says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, because his mercy endureth forever." My declaration today is that in the good and bad times, Lord, I bless your holy name and thank you, for you are good and your mercy endures forever. Let's look at question 1. In question 1, we are looking at a class of 64 students. And we are told that each student does at least one of the three activities: embroidery, martial arts, and sailing. 17 students do embroidery and sailing only, 9 do sailing only, 8 do martial arts and embroidery only, 4 does martial arts only, 15 do 3 activities, and X student do martial arts and sailing only, 2X student do embroidery only, right? So let's fix that grammatical error here. This should be 4 students do. Right, so this is the type of problem that we will be most likely facing in our exam. And the first part of the question asks you to draw a Venn diagram to illustrate the above information. Let's do that. So we are dealing with 3 sets. Let's represent those 3 sets by 3 circles. And we can name these 3 circles E for embroidery, M for martial arts, and A and S. That's an S there for sailing. Okay, so we always draw the circles like that. You want them overlapping in one area where you have the 3 circles overlapping right here in the middle right there. And that region is really showing the number of students who do all 3 activities, right? And we are told that it's given right here. 15 students do 3 activities. Now, as a rule of thumb, when you draw your diagram as shown, let's put in our universal set represented by a rectangle or a square. So your diagram will be very neat, using your ruler and any other object to draw nice circles. Now, if you are given a problem involving 3 sets, always start looking at the information on the students or members, or however the problem is phrased, that do all 3 activities. So we are told that 15 of them do all 3 activities. Then you look at activities 2 at a time. In other words, we are looking at the intersection between any 2 sets, taking the 2 sets one at a time, meaning this shaded region here in yellow, including the 15 which is shaded in green, will be the number of students who do both embroidery and sailing. Notice E and S will overlap in this yellow portion here. Now, I have 2 things to say about that. And the very first thing is that you look for the information on embroidery and sailing. Let's see if we can find it. Embroidery and sailing is right here. Now, 17 students do embroidery and sailing only. So let's see if we can identify that region right here. Embroidery and sailing only. So you will put the 17 right here, because it is 17 students do embroidery and sailing only. The word only is important if it was stated, and maybe I can ask it in the form of a question. So how many students do embroidery and sailing? So there's a difference between embroidery and sailing only and embroidery and sailing. Embroidery and sailing will be the entire region shaded in yellow, including the 15. So the answer to this will be the number of students doing embroidery and sailing will be 17 plus that 15, which will give you 32. Right, so the difference with the word only is that you are looking at this region here, which will be where the 17 is written, and that will represent E&S only. Okay, now that we understand that, let's go on to the second overlapping region. And if we look at embroidery and martial arts, let's highlight that, let's say in this color. Embroidery and martial arts will be in the entire region, including the green region that is shaded. That will be embroidery and martial arts. Right, so now what you are seeing here in terms of that color, what color is that? That kind of bluish color is the blue region right here by itself. That's E and M only. So let's see what information we are given with E and M. They say 8 students do martial arts and embroidery only. So the 8 students will go right here in that blue region. Now 8 and 15 will give us 23, and that will be embroidery and martial arts. Embroidery and martial arts only is the 8. The 23 will be embroidery and martial arts. And finally, we look at the third bit of information on the 2 sets at a time, which will be sailing and martial arts. Let's see that in pink. So this region here in pink would represent sailing and martial arts only. So let's put a little note there. This is martial arts and sailing only. Right. So what information are we given about martial arts and sailing? Here it is. So we are told that X students do martial arts and sailing only. So therefore we will write our X right here. So it means that X, whatever that number is, plus 15 will do martial arts and sailing. Okay, so I think you have that. That is very important when you are looking at your different parts of those circles. And let's just continue the discussion. This unshaded piece here is martial arts only. This unshaded piece here is S only. And this piece here, unshaded, is E only. All right, so let's continue with the information. Now, remember the approach. Start off with the information on all 3 sets. Then we look at 2 sets at a time. And now we're going to look at 1 set. So we're going to look at embroidery, information on embroidery. Then we're going to look at the information on martial arts. And then we're going to look at the information on sailing. So let's go with this one here. 9 students do sailing only. So you see how we're looking at one set at a time? 9 students do sailing only. So sailing only would be right here, 9 students. And what else is it? 4 students do martial arts only. So 4 will go right here. That's M only. And 2X students do embroidery only. So let's put our 2X here. So we have 64 students. And let's hope the numbers will add up. So we have already included all the information for the Venn diagram as shown in the diagram. And we are now going to part 2 of the problem, which asks us to do what? Write an expression in X to represent the composition of the class. So I must admit I used the number 64 randomly when I was setting this question. So that is the total number of students in the class. And I'm hoping the problem will work out without a glitch. If not, we'll make some little minor adjustments. So 64, which is the total number of students, will be equal to all the different regions in your circles when we sum it. Meaning, let's start with the embroidery circle. 64 will be 2X plus, let's go to the 8 in blue, plus, let's look at the 15 in green, plus, let's go with the 17, occupying that portion in yellow right there, the 17. So we have added the first bit of information for E. Then we're going to continue adding the rest of the information. Let's look at M. We already added the 8 and the 15 in blue and green respectively for the circle M because those regions were overlapping with E. But we can still add the 4 and the X. So let's put that here. 4 plus X. So we are finished with M, and then we are moving on to S. Well, we already accounted for X, which is in pink. We have it here, the last X in the equation. We already accounted for the 15 in green and the 17 in yellow, which is part of the S circle. And therefore, we are now left with adding that final bit of information plus 9. So all the information here, which represents the information on the class number of students doing different activities, will equal to 64. So let's see if we can solve this. Remember my disclaimer. We're hoping that this number 64 works out equally because we need to get a whole number for X, which represents the number of students. Let's go. So we will simplify first. We have 2X here, and then we're going to add it to 1X here. That's 3X. And then we are going with 8 plus 15 is 23 plus 17 is what? 40. Yeah. 23 and 17 is 40. And how many? 40 and 4 is 44 plus 9 is how many? 53. Right. So I am going to make a quick adjustment. Here, let's double check. 8 and 15 is 23 and 17, 40. 40 and 13 is 53. 64 minus 53, that'll give us 11. We want to make this 65, so it'll work out nice and flush. So I'm going to change that, put 65 students up here. And let's adjust the working. So 65 will equal to 3X. We're going to subtract 53 on both sides. This will give us 3X plus 53 minus 53. And therefore, this will give us 12 equals 3x. And then based on the third part of the question, hence calculate the number of students do embroidery only, we need to solve this x. Let's solve it. Right, don't want to go down too far. Okay, so if we divide both sides by 3, right, we're gonna get right, x will be 4. So x is 4. Before we go to answering the embroidery only, let's just put in that new information. So if x is 4, it means that the region here would be 4, right here it will be 4. Let's go black. So it can stand out right here. This region here, x is 4, right? X is 4. And 2x will be 2 by 4, which will be 8. Now when we add up all these numbers, 8 plus 8 is 16, 16 and 17 and 15 is 32, that's 48. 48 and 4 is 52, 52 plus 9 is 61, plus this 4 is 65. So it adds up to the 65, right? Okay, so what are we asked now? Hence, calculate right here the number of students who do embroidery only. So remember, we already identified embroidery only, which is this region here, and we just calculated it. 2x means 2x, which is equal to 8. So 8 students do embroidery only. Okay, let's go to question number 2. That was really a nice question right there. Question number 2, another 3 sets problem. There are 102 students in a foreign language club. 45 students speak Swahili, 48 French, 53 Greek. 17 speak Swahili and French, 19 Swahili and Greek, 20 Greek and French. 3 students speak none of the 3 languages. Let the number of students who speak all 3 languages be x. So we are told x students speak all 3 languages. So do you remember the approach in terms of drawing your diagram firstly, and then in terms of putting your information into the diagram? Let's see. So let's suppose this is our bit of, right, that's our universal set. Now remember, we want to draw 3 circles like this. They must overlap so that you have a region like this right here, where you put all 3 students, the information there, the information on all 3 sets, right? So we are told that x students speak 3 languages. So x will go here. And what are the 3 languages we're talking about? We're talking about Swahili, French, and Greek. So x students will speak Swahili, French, and Greek where the 3 circles overlap. So again, start with the information on 3 at a time, then you go with 2 at a time. In this case, we're talking about languages. So let's take it from the top. 17 students speak Swahili and French. Now, they did not say only, so you cannot put the 17 here. If you put the 17 here, that will mean Swahili and French only. The 17 will relate to the entire overlapping region, including your x for both Swahili and French. And I'm going to shade that in a beautiful yellow so you can see what I'm talking about. So let me first of all take out this 17 because that is in the wrong place. They did not say only. 17 speak Swahili and French. So it means that the entire overlapping region would represent both Swahili and French, including watch how the S and the F circle intersect, including that X region there. That's what the 17 referred to. Now, in the first question, which I think was extremely useful, we stress on what only represents in terms of where it is located in the diagram. But if that word only is not used, as we are seeing here, it must relate to the entire intersection or overlapping region with those two sets. So if X is already accounted for here, and this is 17 do Swahili and French, then this region here, let's see if I can write it, 17 minus X. Right. I'm going to put it the other way just in case you may not be able to see clearly. Let's write it 17 minus X right here. Now, that is what we're going to be doing with the other regions, as you'll see in a little while. 19 students speak Swahili and Greek. So Swahili and Greek, look and see where the S and G overlap. Will include part of the X there. So this will be 19 minus X. Finally, 20 speak Greek and French. So the G circle overlaps with the F circle, including that X portion. So that whole overlapping region is 20. So what is unshaded will be the 20 minus X. Okay, so the moral of the story is please distinguish when the word only is used as opposed to when it is not used, as it relates to what part of those overlapping regions should be shaded or whatever part of the overlapping region they are referring to. Okay, now that we have handled the two sets at a time, let's look at the single set, the information on the single set. So 45 students speak Swahili. Now, again, watch this. The 45 refers to, and I'll do it for one. The 45 refers to the entire region represented by the circle S. Now, it may seem like a lot of work here, but we need to take our time when we are solving. So if they say 45 students speak Swahili, this is the entire circle S, the information on the entire circle S. So that's 45. Now, they did not say 45 speak Swahili only. Now, if that was written, then the 45 would have gone only in this little portion here. Okay, so it was not stated like that as we saw in the previous question. So what do we do? What do we do? This region here, right here, the Swahili only. Let's practice figuring out what that will represent in terms of our X. Let's practice that. Now, I'm going to do it this way. So we're going to put in the information and perhaps I'll use a formula to show it another method afterwards. But let's go through the work, and I think it's useful. So if we need to figure out what is Swahili only, we'll take the 45 and we're going to subtract the sum of the three other regions. So that is really how your skills in algebra will come into play here now. Right, plus 19 minus X. Okay, so take your time. This will be 45 minus 17 plus 19 will be 36. This minus X will cancel with this one. So you have 36 minus X here in bracket. right? I got the minus x because there's a minus x left there. So when you remove, one is understood here, when you remove this bracket, it's as though you're multiplying by -1, so it becomes 45 minus 36 plus x. Minus 1 by 36 is minus 36, minus 1 by minus x is plus x. 45 minus 36 is 9, so this is 9 plus x. And this is the answer we should put right here. This is 9 plus x. We're going to do that for, what do you call it? Right, we're going to do that for the other two. Let's practice that. Yes, let's do that. Very good practice, I must say, in terms of how you work in simplifying terms in x algebraic expression. So let's go to the next one. 48 students speak French. Again, the entire circle F, as shown here, the entire circle represents 48. So if we know that part is represented by 17 minus x, x, and 20 minus x, to figure out what is French only, which is shown there, the unshaded portion by question mark there. F only, let's see how we figure that out. It will be the 48 minus the three regions, which you must put in brackets because we saw just now signs may change. So it's minus the sum of the three, plus x plus 20 minus x. So let's simplify that. 17 plus 20 is 37. Minus x will cancel with this plus 7. So you're left with 37 minus x. And we do the same thing as we did before. One is understood here. So it's 48 minus by 1 by 37 is minus 37. Minus 1 by minus x is plus x. So this region here, 48 minus 37 is how many? 11. Right, plus x. This region here is 11 plus x. And let's do the last one. So let's get the double check. 17 plus 20 is 37 minus 1 by 37 is 37 minus x plus x. So we're good with this one. Let's do the last one there. Okay, so we're now focusing on Greek. 53 students speak Greek. So let's figure out what is Greek only. G only. Right? It will be 50, how many? 53 minus, and let's add up the three regions. It's 19 minus x plus the x and the 20 minus x. Got all that fall within the circle representing the students who speak Greek. All right, so it's minus 19 minus x plus x plus 20 minus x. And let's figure it out. Minus x will cancel with this plus x. 19 plus 20 is 39, so it will be 53. So we need to keep that bracket there, as you realize. That's 39 minus x. So it becomes 53 minus 1 by 39 minus 39 minus 1 by minus x is plus x. 53 minus 39, and that's 14. So this becomes 14 plus x. Right, so we can put that here, 14 plus x. Now, what do? We continue. So let the number of students know, write an equation to show the total number of students in the club. Right, so now that we figure out what the other three regions are, let's write our equation and simplify. Notice they said 3 students speak none of the language. Now, if there are 102 students in the club and 3 of them fall outside of the 3 circles, it means that the sum of students within the 3 circles will be 102 minus 3, which is 99. So I'm making another little disclaimer. I randomly chose this number without fully working out the sums. So again, I'm hoping that it works out perfectly. If not, I just make a little adjustment. But don't miss the approach and method in solving the problem, right? So we're still working with method 1. And method 1 is saying that we go with setting the equation up as follows. 99, okay, I'm going to start it here. 99, and we need to add up all the bits of information here. This bit for S, let's go with S first. It will be 9 plus X plus 17 minus X plus X. Right, and that's a bit of information for circle S. Are we seeing that? That's circle S here. 9 plus X plus 17 minus X plus X, and then we have this little piece here plus 19 minus X. Right, that is circle X. Sorry. Now we're going to add in the rest of the information for, let's say, circle F now. So we already accounted for 17 minus X and X here. So we need to add the 11 plus X and the 20 minus X. 11 plus X plus 20 minus X. And then now going to, this will be the rest of F, right? Rest of F. And now let's add the information for circle G now. We already accounted for the X up here when we were counting S and the 19 minus X. Also, we accounted for the 20 minus X when we were stating the rest of F. So the only portion we need to add will be the 14 plus X. All those regions will give us a total of 99. So let's hope that it solves without any problem. Let's have a little faith here. Take your time. Take your time. 99, I'm speaking to me. Take my time. Let's add up all the numbers here. 9 plus 17, that's 26. 26 plus 19, 45 plus 20, that's 65 plus 14, that's 79 plus 11, that's 80. All right, so 80 goes right here. Now already when I subtract 80 from 90, I'm going to get 19, not 82. So whole number when I divide it out, but we'll see. Don't worry. Double check those numbers on your calculator. Let's do that. So let's not, it's always good to try to do it mentally, like mental arithmetic, but let's double check. 9 plus 17 plus 19 plus 11 plus 20 plus 14. Right, I'm getting 90. What did I write here? I put 80, you see? So it's always good to double check. Let's go again. 9 plus 17. 9 plus 17 plus 19 plus 11 plus 20 plus 14. Right, I think I was going good. Probably coming along to the last one. I got stumped there. All right, so let's change it so it'll be 90 right there. Right. It's possible that we may get a. All right, so we got our 90 right there. And let's now eliminate the let's see how we can eliminate the x's now. So we have plus x here. This plus x will cancel with this. This plus x will cancel with this minus x. This plus x will cancel with this minus x. This plus x will cancel with this minus x. And we are only left with plus x. So this will be 90 plus x. Right, so our faith held up, man. So let's go. 99, let's subtract 90 on both sides. Will be 90 minus 90 plus x. So we got 9 is equal to x. Okay, so we will have answered the question. So the first part, write an equation, will be this portion here. And then they say, hence determine the number of students who speak all three languages. All three languages were represented by x. And of course, in order to do that, we had to solve our equations, right? So solve our equations. Which is what we did here. I'm going to go off on a little limb again in faith. And I'm going to see if I remember method 2, which is using my 3 sets equation. I will need to see the information, so let me go back up. I will put it where the diagram is. Okay, I'm going out. And I'm trusting my good Lord. Now, there's a much faster method, but I thought it was necessary to go through the question and show you exactly what the information referred to on the diagram and go through the practice in using the algebra as we did, right? With all those x's. Now, let's go to method 2. Those who like formulas, off the top of my head, there's a formula that we can use for a 3-set question. They may not require using it. They may not even bring questions this difficult. This will be our method number 2. I haven't used this formula for over what? Perhaps maybe 20-something years. Let's see if it's still in the back of my mind. Now, this formula says, if you have 3 sets as we have here, Swahili, French, and Greek, the number of members in Swahili, Union French, Union Greek will be equal to the number of students doing Swahili plus the number of students doing French plus the number of students doing Greek minus the intersections, minus the number doing Swahili and French, minus the number doing Swahili and Greek, minus the number doing French and Greek, plus number of students in all 3. Swahili intersect French, intersect Greek. Now, this intersection of all 3 is what we call an X. And we'll have, let's put in all the information. The number of students doing Swahili, Union, French, Union, Greek was the 99. That is within the 3 circles. So we're going to put a 99 here. That's this first piece. The number doing Swahili is the 45. Those who speak, sorry. Swahili would be the 45. Those who speak French will be the 48, right? So that's taking into account the entire circle. The number who speak Greek would be the 53. And then we subtract the information on both sets. So, and that's what's given here. 17 speak Swahili and French, right? So that's Swahili and French, we'll minus 17. Then we give on 19 speak Swahili and Greek. That's it here, Swahili and Greek, as intersect G would be the 19. Then we subtract those who speak French and Greek. That's the 20. And then we add the information on all three. They say X. 3 students speak non-Maria accounted for this. So let X students speak all three plus X. Now, if you remember correctly, remember I said once you have 3 of the students speaking none of the language, you have to subtract the 3 from here, give it as the 99. Now, if the additions were correct, when we add and subtract accordingly, let's see if we get back that 90 plus X, right? I'm hoping that we do. All right, so when we add all 3, we're going to get the 45 plus 48 plus 53. Right, that's 146. All right, let's hope things work out here. Let's go. Add it again. All right, let's go. We need to subtract these 3 numbers. The 17 plus the 19 plus the 20. We need to subtract this total, which is 56, right? So that looks good. Minus 56. And then we're going to add the X. Now 146 minus 56 is the 90. So we have 90 plus X, which is similar to the equation we just solved, right? 99 here. And when we subtract 90 on both sides, this will cancel out. So we left with X equals to 9, which is what we just got. We got that a little while ago. All right, so we thank God for that information there. You have this formula you can use, but before you can master it, if you have not already done so, you will have to try to remember it. So that will bring us to the end of this session. And I just want to really close by reminding you of what the Word of God says. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, because his mercy endureth forever. May God continue to bless you until we meet again. Goodbye.